Namaste, JVS. Today we'll be talking about memory in psychology, which is a part of your GPT, BMRT first semester. Memory refers to encoding and storage what was previously learned. The current trend in the study of memory emphasizes cognitive or mental processes. Cognition is the process through which information coming from senses is transformed, reduced, elaborated, retrieved, and used. And the information is the sensory input from the environment. When the learning is brought back into the awareness, it is called as retrieval. So first we'll discuss about simple memory theory. In order to form new memories, information must be changed into usable form. And the processes involved are encoding, storage, and retrieval. Encoding is a process of receiving in sensory inputs and transferring it into a code that can be stored. And the input is arranged into existing category or group in some logical manner. Then is the storage, where the process of actually putting the code information into memory is involved. The level at which information is stored depends upon mediating processes like attention and rehearsal. Obviously, if you want to learn something and store it in your brain, in your memory, you need to rehearse it and pay attention to it. Because if attention is not paid, then the information will not pass from sensory memory to the short-term memory. And if there is no rehearsal, the information will be lost from short-term memory and will not reach to the long-term memory. Then is the process of retrieval, which allows us to bring stored memory into conscious awareness. And sometimes what happens, we remember something in a particular environment, but not in another. And this could be because of the stimulus present in that environment help us to recall the information that has been stored. Then, what is the role of memory? The function of memory is not only to recall the past, but also to form and update model of our experiences and use these models to navigate the world. In the absence of memory, a person cannot perform daily activities. Obviously, if you want to know something, want to do something and you have forgotten how to do that, so you won't be able to carry out many of the daily activities. And when the memory is absent, whatever learned will not be retained and relearning will be required every time. Now, information processing theory is where we involve first sensory register. Information is held for a short period of time in the sensory channels themselves. The storage function of sensory channels is called sensory register. The sensory register holds the information for such a short time that some psychologists prefer to discuss it in connection with perception rather than memory. And when we pay attention to and recognize some information, it is passed to short-term memory. Second is short-term memory, which holds information received from sensory register for up to 30 seconds. And the length of retention depends on a number of factors. And the factors are, since the capacity of short-term memory is so small, much information stored here is lost because it is displaced by incoming items of information. And some of the items are neither lost nor retrieved, and they may pass through long-term memory by rehearsal. Now, what rehearsal is? Just going over and over to remember items. That means we can say just going over repeating the event or anything which you want to store, and that goes into long-term memory. So this is rehearsal. Now, what is long-term memory? Long-term, as the name suggests, it may last for days, months, years, or throughout your lifetime also. So there is no limit for storage capacity here. So they can be the words, sentences, ideas, concepts, your life experiences. And some theorists believe that there is no true forgetting from long-term memory. The information is still there, we just cannot get to it because it has been stored in an organized fashion, or because we're not searching for it in the right part of the memory storehouse. If we say, like, the human long-term memory is not an untidy jumble of unrelated informations. So the events or the memory is stored in a tidy and organized manner. Then we have a tip of tongue phenomena, because in this what happens when we try to retrieve something, like for example or a word, but we can't quite remember it, then this tip of the tongue phenomena results. Because many times we say, yeah, I'm trying to recall his or her name, it's just a tip of my tongue. So that means the person is trying to retrieve it from long-term memory. Then we'll come to forgetting. It is the absolute loss of information already encoded and stored in long-term memory. We often say we forget when memory does not match events as they occurred. Faulty remembering is not forgetting. And there are different theories behind forgetting. First is trace decay theory. According to this theory, forgetting is a natural result of time that has passed or passing. And as time goes on, what is learned or experienced is forgotten. And the trace decay theory has been able to explain forgetting in short-term memory also. And therefore, practice and rehearsal helps to prevent loss of information from short-term memory. Then second is motivated forgetting theory. It refers to the tendency to remove anxiety, causing information to unconscious level. According to Freud, principle of motivated forgetting and depression says that the forgetting in all cases is proved to be found on a motive of displeasure. This explains, like, when people remember the pleasant events more than the unpleasant ones. So here the unpleasant memories are repressed. So this is all in your memory. I hope you understood this session. And if you have any doubts, you can comment in the box given. And this session has been powered by Digital 2.0 Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women University. Thank you.